Good rising, world. Yo, the hustle and bustle rigmarole. This is King Kyle, 50% of True Royal TV, and we represent a nation within a nation searching for nationality, live and direct at your neck. So tune in and show some respect to the livest, truest, rawest talk show on the planet. Why? Because we ain't planned it. It's been planned by you, the ones who give us the view and make it do what it do. I have something special for y'all today. I have Daoud, Zaid, Iman sitting with us today, and we're gonna hopefully. This is my mentor, by the way. My mentor in many different ways. I'm a student of education and knowledge and language, and also of the spoken word. And what Daoud is going to speak about with us today is a topic on emotions. Good morning, Daoud.
Good morning, Assalamu
Walaikum salam. How you doing today, brother?
All right, thank Allah, I'm fine.
I see you representing Exodus, live and direct, larger than charge. So, as I told my listening audience and my viewing audience that you would speak on the topic of human emotions today. So, would you like sharing with us?
Sure. First, I'd like to start with actually it's called a poem, but it's not my poem, but I took hold of that poem and turned it into a reflective thought. It was really originally written by a gentleman named Robert Wilbur. He said, "All that we do is touched with ocean, yet we remain on the shore of what we know." So all that we do is touched with ocean.
Yeah.
So we know science and religion tells us that we were created, human beings were created from water. And the largest body of water is an ocean. Some of the attributes of an ocean is that it has depths to it. It has great depths. So when we say that all that we do is touch with ocean, we're saying that things go deeper than the surface. If we stand on the surface, we never get into the depths of our own soul, our own thoughts, our own history. So it's important that we go into the depths. Now, water is a symbol of human emotions. So if all that we do is touch with ocean, then every human expression, every emotion has depths to it. It's not just surface feelings. We have to get into the depths of it, meaning we have to get into the science of it, the meaning of it, the significance of it, the value of it, the importance of it. So I wrote an aphorism. An aphorism is emotion, E-motion. Emotion is the movement of feeling in place of its form. Everything has its form. And a thing out of place is a thing out of form. In most cases, we misplace our feelings, or we allow our feelings to misplace us. I will recite that again. Emotion is the movement of feeling in search of its place. Everything has its place. And a thing out of its place is a thing out of its form. In most cases, we misplace our feelings, or we allow our feelings to misplace us. So we know then that if we look at life from a biological point of view, we see that the human sperm is in motion. It has a sense of direction. It is goal-orientated. It is plan-orientated. So life moves towards establishment. And establishment begins with feeling. So, and feeling is not just a physical action. Feeling is a search for meaning. Feeling is a search for a place to develop a perception, to grasp things. So feeling is really analytical. We call it emotional intelligence. Because intelligence comes out of the realm of feeling, trying to find our way. We're examining it, we're manipulating through, we're sifting through things. So when it says that emotion is moving and feeling in search of its place, we're saying that every feeling, every emotion is trying to find meaning, trying to find its place. And when it don't find its place, it's not comfortable with itself. Even in relationships, we try to interact with people of similar feelings. And if we don't find a place in our heart and our soul for that particular interaction between human sharing, then we're out of our place. And therefore we're out of our form. And every form should give us some information. You know, so
the word.
Yes.
Information.
Right. And things are formative, you know, and every emotion has to be formed with some type of clarity in order for you to articulate it intelligently. That's why we have the expression emotional intelligence. So this is key. Now, the aphorism goes on, it says, emotion is moving a feeling in search of its place. Everything has its place, but everything is not in its place. You know, so if a thing is out of its place, it's out of its form. So if it's out of its form, it's not going to get the best benefit out of the relationship, the interaction, or it's even its own self-expression.
Can't really grow.
No, you can't grow. You're going to get stuck in a certain place that doesn't feed your total life. You know, so that's why it's so important that in a relationship between a male and a woman, a male and a female, or a man and a woman, I should say, they need to question the intent in the relationship. We should want to know, what do I bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? And we want to talk about expectation. What can I expect from you? What can you expect from me? If relationships begin without expectations, then down the line, things are going to be out of place. And the relationship is going to be out of its form. You're trying to form a relationship, but you didn't speak about expectations.
In the beginning.
And on a job, the employer want to tell you what's expected of you, and you can tell the employer what you expect from them. But if you don't talk about expectations, how can you properly do your job? How can you perform according to the information if you don't know what is required of you or what is expected of you? So this emotional idea goes deep. It's said that Jesus walked on water. Well, what's the idea behind it? The spiritual science behind that is that if water represents emotions, then Jesus walking on water means that he had emotional balance. He was able to get into a feeling or an idea or issue or concern and not get lost in it. You know, he wasn't going to get drowned. He was not going to drown in his emotions. He may get emotional, but he was able to have emotional balance. Like somebody on skis, they have balance. You know, no matter how big the wave is, they can still balance themselves out because they have emotional intelligence. Without emotional intelligence, you can't get no balance.
Can't get no balance.
And if you can't get no balance, you can't get no justice. You can't do no justice in a relationship because you're not balanced in your concern. The balance of concern comes in the form of emotion as not only concern, but discernment. Those are the two disciplines that have to be together to make a relationship form properly. Concern and discernment. To discern means you have to look deeper. You have to go and you have to sift things out to see where the real jewel is at. Like somebody who's searching for gold in a tray. You shake it until all the filth is out of it, and then you get the pure gold. Likewise, a diamond, the same way. You have to sift through things. So like ourselves, we have to question everything. Things have to be examined. So one of the disciplines of emotion is that we have to weigh things out. The word examine actually means to weigh a thing. You go to the doctor, first thing you do is put you on a scale to see how much you weigh. Now, when we talk about the weight of things, we're really talking about the value of things. Because everything is based on values and the ability to evaluate. And the degree in which your values are in its proper form, you're able to make the proper evaluation. To recognize the value of other people, recognize the value of the situation that you're in, and what type of value you're going to put into that situation. So again, we say emotion is moving a feeling in search of its place. Everything has its place. And a thing out of its place is a thing out of its form. In most cases, we misplace our feelings.
And allow our feelings to misplace
us.
And in that word, evaluation, you hear value.
Yes, value and evaluation. So we know there has to be some intelligence operating in the emotional life in order to weigh things properly. So we have, again, the language of sensitivity. One of the things of our teacher, Imam Muhammad Radiallahu Anhu, he said, sensitivity is the presence of the life of the intellect. Everything has a life. And the life of the intellect is in a sensitivity. And you don't really come alive in your intellect unless you're sensitive.
It's in tune with the sensitivity.
Yes, and you have to be concerned. It's not just sensitivity, but it's also sensibility. You have to have the ability to sense things out and not get caught up in one particular measure of feelings. Then he says that intellect is a sense concept. Why is that? Because intellect is development out of the senses. You can't make sense. You can't make sense unless you have some sensitivity.
Because the mind bring about.
Yes.
The mind bring about what the eyes cause it to bring about.
Exactly. And we hear the expression, the mind sees what it brings eyes to see. And what is the eyes? The information.
Senses.
Yes, the information to see.
Right.
And we're not just seeing things on the level of some physical reality. We're seeing things in depths. We're seeing the various ways in which things can be perceived. Just like we're talking right now, you and I, as we talked about it a couple of days ago, while we're talking, we're both sitting in another chair, observing our speech, communicating with each other. So it's actually 4 people in the room, although it's only 2 of us. That's because I'm not so caught up in what I'm saying that I'm not conscious of what I'm saying. If you're not so caught up in what you're hearing, you're also examining what's being said. You're not charmed. You're looking for clarity and not just a lot of rhetoric. You know, so again, emotion is a movement of feeling in search of its place. Everything has its place. A thing out of its place is a thing out of its form. In most cases, we misplace our feelings. You put your trust in somebody who's not worthy of it. Or we allow our feelings to misplace us. We get so emotional that it takes us out of our discipline.
And that's why I say we a nation within a nation searching for nationality, because a lot of us has been misplaced.
Yes.
And for the most part, have taken on other people's form.
Yeah.
This is the reason why, you know, I think Malcolm said, most of us, by the way we act, have even lost our mind because we've taken on somebody else's thought process on what love is,
right,
and what sensitivity is, and we've grown in that, and and I would say it's not comfortable at all.
At all.
You know,
and you know something? We hear about the expression behind enemy lines. Being behind enemy lines says that we're into a mindset that is not our own. So the choices that we make in that mindset is not our own. It always works against us. We're behind enemy lines when we're not using language that speaks to our needs. We're not using culture that supports our life form.
And everybody has their language,
right?
You know, and everybody has their language. Ours was taken.
That's right. Exactly.
You know, so you know, I appreciate, you know, for the viewing audience, this was, you know, tons and tons of information. I advise y'all, when y'all look at this, to have a pencil or a pen and a paper, get your phones out, and you take this information down, because information like this comes once in a lifetime, you know.
Alhamdulillah.
And alhamdulillah, you know, and I thank the brother Dawood for taking some time to spend with True Royal TV and to give us this information. This is my brother, my mentor, you know, and I appreciate you, brother.
Alhamdulillah.
And I truly thank Allah for you and for the information that He's allowed you to, you know, to take in, to be able to share with brothers, you know, and I truly believe this type of information will be here when we're gone.
Yes, and that's the idea.
When we're going, that's the idea. You know, so once again, I thank you, and I say thank you to the viewing audience for being here today. This is True Royal TV, and we represent a nation within a nation, searching for nationality, live and direct at your neck. So thank you for tuning in and showing some respect to the livest, truest, rawest talk show on the planet. Why? Because we ain't planned it. It's been planned by you, the ones who give us the view and make it do what it do.
All right.
King Khalil, peace out to Queen Nari,
Peace.
who's out on assignment. Hey.